Hello, I'm Kaz, and I'm not quite sure how to begin with this game. Pokémon Conquest, a spin-off of the Pokémon series, that's also a crossover with Nobunaga's Ambition? So before we get into this game, let's go over a little history of the two series. Nobunaga's Ambition is one of the earliest tactical RPG series, with the first release in 1983. While somewhat popular in Japan, it's remained fairly obscure in the West. And then there's Pokémon. Do I really need to go over it? Second best-selling series of all time since 1996, beloved by many, childhood classics, etc, you know it already. I will say this, I did consider myself done with the Pokemon series until I heard of this title. So, does this game catch the nostalgia bug type, or is it a not very effective crossover? Let's take a look. The story begins with you. You're a warlord with your Eevee who sets out on a quest to unite all the kingdoms and summon the creator of Do You Really Care About the Narrative to a Pokemon game? I don't. And before somebody says it's a Nobunaga's Ambition title, from what I understand, that series is about the conquering and uniting of all the regions in Japan. And I seriously doubt that he did so with the help of Pokemon. The narrative is disappointing, but it's a crossover, and it's to be expected that narrative isn't a strong point, especially for one as nonsensical as this one. Besides, it doesn't matter how well the story is told, what matters is how great the game plays. Pokémon Conquest is a tactical RPG that doesn't stray too far from the Nobunaga's Ambition series, though it does take elements from the Pokemon series and mixes them in too. Instead of managing a team, your turn consists of managing kingdoms and conquer territories as you try to unite all 17 kingdoms, one of each for each Pokemon type. In each kingdom you have different options ranging from training your troops, recruiting new warlords, and salvaging resources and raising your Pokemon's energy level, or upgrading certain terrains, the latter of which can only be done after beating the game. With a maximum of 6 warlords in each kingdom, 17 kingdoms to manage, and a certain number of Pokemon that each character can use, it might seem like too much to manage, so you can delegate kingdoms to focus on one area to raise. Now there's a lot of options to do within each kingdom, but you'll be spending most of your time in battle trying to conquer your enemies, create new allies, and train your warlords and their individual Pokemon. Combat consists of grid-based gameplay with players taking turns in moving their Pokemon on the map and attacking enemy units with their Pokemon's move. Yes, that's right, I said move. Every Pokemon has only one move, though many Pokemon have moves with unique patterns that make you think before you move and attack, especially if you want to recruit all your enemies. Recruiting a warlord means fulfilling one of 3 requirements. A. Beat their Pokemon within 4 turns. B. Beating their Pokemon with a super effective move. Or C. Beating them without taking any damage from their Pokemon. Some warlords have a hidden 4th requirement, but they're not that common and they're often very powerful, usually differentiated on the map with the yellow symbol as opposed to a white one. In addition, warlords can link with wild Pokemon by playing a minigame by tapping A, and, if successful, they can use that Pokemon in the next battle as long as they win the current one, though each warlord is limited to how many Pokemon they can hold. Battles are highly strategic and engaging, never feeling anything less than satisfying. What's more, each kingdom varies its area, so there's no 2 conquests that will ever feel the same. After battle, you view all the items that you've obtained, and the strengthening of the link between Warlord and Pokemon, which makes each Pokemon stronger. It's the equivalent of the level up system from the Pokemon series, or, for that matter, any RPG series. Though, in this case, if they reach a high enough link, the Pokemon might get stronger, and the move might get stronger too. And in true Pokemon fashion, if they reach certain conditions, they can evolve. In fact, even your Warlord can evolve, though this usually requires an extremely high link. Once you decide to move on to the next month, which is this game's way of saying move on to the next turn, your opponents make their move, trying to invade your kingdom or trying to claim the others as their own. Continue the cycle until you conquer all of the land and beat the game. It may sound repetitive, but it's actually a lot of fun. It's enjoyable to manage all your resources, and once you beat the game, you unlock different modes with new characters trying to conquer the region once again. It allows for you to choose a different team, different abilities, and a new strategy, adding a ton of replay value to this game. I should also mention that there's a multiplayer mode, but I wasn't able to try it for this review. Besides, there's already an incredible amount of content packed into the game, and you'll be enjoying every moment of it. Well, okay, there are 2 major problems that hold the game back. Firstly, in the beginning, the game presents a decent level of challenge, making battles seem very strategical and smart. But after the first 2 hours, the game becomes way too easy. I understand that this game may be aimed for a younger audience, but until the final battle and the new quest, you'll be breezing through one kingdom after the other. For a game that relies on tactical gameplay, this is a big problem. It doesn't break the game or make it a chore to play, but it is very annoying to just breeze through every enemy without any sort of challenge. The second complaint that I have is the camera. I know what you're thinking, camera issues in a tactical role-playing game? Well, the issue here is sometimes, on a few maps, the camera gets blocked by obstacles on the map, meaning you can't see your Pokemon or your Warlord. True, the camera can be moved, but it's a problem that could have been avoided if the map and the Pokemon were in the same dimension. There's also the minor annoyance of having only one save file, but despite these issues, Pokémon Conquest remains an enjoyable game. The presentation is good, but nothing incredible. Graphically, the game mixes 3D environments with 2D sprites. The sprites, while good looking, seem out of place with the backgrounds. It would have looked a lot better if they kept it simpler in the same dimension. That, and when the beloved camera zooms in on the Pokemon using their flashy moves, they look horribly pixelated. The score, on the other hand, fares much better. All the tracks suit the Japanese-style game and sound appropriate for each of the kingdom's elements. They're upbeat, varied, and many of them are incredibly catchy, just as you'd expect from a Pokemon game, or a Nobunaga's Ambition game. Sound effects are all appropriate for their following moves, but it does get annoying to hear the same Pokemon screeches that you've heard from Pokemon Red. It may not blow you away, but Pokemon Conquest looks and sounds the part for its crossover title. Pokemon Conquest is a surprise in many ways. Aside from being a crossover that nobody expected, or for that matter nobody wanted, it's a polished and highly strategical game that does justice to the Pokemon franchise. Ever since Pokemon was made, countless spin-offs were made too. These games have ranged from good to... childhood-rapingly awful, so it's good to see a quality title come out. It's not the best, and it hasn't revived my interest in the series, but it's one of the best Pokemon spin-offs that has ever been made, and a great swan song for the Nintendo DS, earning a score of 8 out of 10 from me. If you're looking for a great strategy game, or if you're a die-hard Pokemon fan waiting for the next core games, you're in for a treat, but be warned, you'll want to keep this one in your system after the credits. It's a strangely good game that you don't want to miss. Wait, do you want to know how this game collaboration happened? Well, the president of the Pokemon Company, Susan Kaz Ishihiro, was a big fan of Nobunaga's Ambition. He proposed to Technokoei the idea of a crossover between the two series. While the game itself was a collaboration between the two companies, Technokoei were the ones responsible for designing and building the game. As a final note, if you look through the credits, Satoshi Tajiri, the original creator of Pokemon, is given a special thanks in the credit, as is Junichi Masuda. That's a nice little treat that I thought I'd mention. Until next time, game on, my friends.